Okay, today we want to look at decimal and significant figure. These two concepts are working tools for presenting most of our answer in mathematics. The students often mix them together. So today I'm going to explain the concept behind this two. So we have approximate. For instance, now we are asked to approximate the following: 65009.269 to one decimal place. When you see GP like this, it means what? Decimal place. And when you see SF, it means what? Significant figure. Significant figure. So that's it. That is what it means. DP, decimal place. SF means what? Significant figure. So this one we are asked to do what? To approximate to one decimal place, while the next question asks us to approximate to one significant figure. So before we can do this, let me quickly explain the concept behind it. Once the next digit to the one being considered is from 5 to 9, we will round up. When you want to solve any question pertaining to this, is either you round up or you round up. When you round up, you will turn the number to 1 and you will add it to the number that is being considered. Do you get? When you round up, you will turn the number to 0. So in that way, you are not adding to the next number. You just turn it to 0. So that is how to go about it. However, if it's 9, if the number is 9, after we add 1, the 9 will become 10, right? If the number now becomes 10, we cannot write 10, because if we write 10, it's going to increase our number. For instance, now I'm supposed to have 100, and I add 1 is 0 to it. You know that this one has become 1000. It has increased the number. So you will not be able to write that 10. It is not allowed in this concept to write that 10. So what you will do is you will write 0 and you will add the next one to the next number. We are still going to solve example pertaining to this. Then, if it is not up to 5, we will do what? We will round off. So that is just the concept behind this topic. It is not difficult at all. So now let's attempt our questions. So this question asks us to do what? Solution. We are asked to approximate 65009.269 to what? To one decimal place. So our answer will be what? So when they say one decimal place, what it means is that after the decimal point, we want to see one figure. That is the meaning of one decimal place. If the question asks us to do two decimal place, that is what? After this decimal point, this is the decimal point. After this decimal point, we want to see two figures. If it is 3 decimal place, it means after this decimal point, we want to see what? 3 figures. Do you get? So now the question asks us to do what? To approximate to one decimal place. So this is our decimal point. We are approximating to one decimal place. So this is where we are working on. We are working on 2, right? So we are working on 2. So this is where we are working on one decimal place. If it's 2 decimal, it will be 26. But because we are doing one decimal place, this is where we are starting our work. So you will now consider the next value closer to these 2. If it is up to 5, you round it up to 1 and you will add it to this. If it is not up to 5, you will turn it to 0. Do you get? But in this case, we have 6. 6 is up to 5. It's even more than 5. So we are doing what? We are turning it to 1. So our answer now becomes what? Our answer becomes 65009.269. This is the first decimal place. This one is up to 5. So we turn it to 1. We now add it to these two. It will now be 0.3. So the rest will be 0. And we all know that 0 after decimal point is cancelled. So it doesn't have value after decimal point. So our answer becomes 65009.3. Then don't forget to tell us to what you approximate it to. So you cannot just leave your answer like this. You have to indicate that you approximate it to what? To 1 decimal place. Good. If we are to approximate this to 2 decimal place, our answer will be what? 65009.2 decimal place. So we are considering 2 values after the decimal point. So we are going to write our 2. The next value is what? 6. So we will add 1. This one that is next to this 6 is what? Is up to 5. So it's even 9. So we turn it to 1. So if we turn it to 1, we are going to add it to this. So it becomes 7. So our answer will be what? 65009.27 to what? To 2 decimal place. Do you get? So that is how it will go if it's to 2 decimal places. I hope you understand the concept like that. So now let's move to significant figure. This question also, let's say this number 1. Okay, this is number 1 and this number 2. This question also number 3. 6500. We are asked to what? To approximate it to significant figure. When you are asked to approximate to significant figure, you consider the first significant number. The first significant number. Significant number starts from 1. Is 0 is not a significant figure. So our answer will be approximately to what? This is the first significant figure that we have. The next value closer to it is up to 5. So we are turning it to 1 and we are adding it to this 6. Do you get? So to one significant figure is going to be what? 7, and everything we turn to 0. How many 0? 1, 2, 3, 4. 0.000. So all these are cancelled. Any 0 after the decimal point is not relevant. So this is the answer. So the answer is now what? 7,000. Or the 70,000 to what? To one significant figure. So let's look at another example. Approximate the following: 0.00629946 to 3 significant figure. 3 significant figure. I've told us that is 0. 0 is not a significant figure. You start counting from the first significant number. If you are approximating to any significant figure, whether one significant figure, 2 significant figure, 3 or 4 significant figure, you start your counting from the very first significant number. And significant number from this question now is 6. 0 is not a significant value. If you have 0, you don't have anything. What you have is not significant. But if you have 1, 1 is a significant value. So 0.00 like this. The first significant number is 6. And they asked us to do what? To approximate to 3 significant numbers. So we are starting our counting from 6. So we count 1, 2, 3. So this is where we are working on. Our work starts from this 9. So this is where number 3 stops. If it's to be 2 significant, we count 2 values. If it's 1 significant, we count 1 value from the very first significant number. So this one now, we count 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is where we are starting our work from. So we'll now consider the next value closer to where we are working on. So the next value is what? Is 9. So it is more than 5, right? And don't forget that I said from 5 to 9, we turn them to what? We turn them to 1. So if we turn this 9 to this 1 now, it's going to be what? It's going to be 10. And we cannot just write 10 here. So in significant value, if you add your next value to where you are working on and it becomes 10, you are not going to write that 10. You are going to turn this value to 0 and you will put the 1 to the next value. Just like when you're eating and you are already full, instead of you to trash the food, you now give it to someone that needs the food. So 3 significant figure, we start counting from the first significant number, which is 629, and the next value is 9. We now turn it to 1, we add it to this one, it becomes what? It becomes 10. But because we don't want to increase the digits, we now consider this next value. So this one that we're supposed to add to this 9, to now come to this 2, because this one is already filled up. So our answer now becomes what? 0.00629946. We now approximate it. This is the sign for approximation. We now approximate it to be what? 0.0063, right? To what? To 3 significant figures. So this becomes our answer. All other return to 0. And don't forget that 0 after decimal point is not relevant. So we are not writing it. So this is our answer to 3 significant figures. So now let's move to the next one, number 2. At number 2, we are asked to do what? To approximate what? To 3 significant figure. 1, 6, 5, 8. So 3 significant figure. So we start counting from the very first significant number. And the first significant number here is 1. So you start your counting from 1. So you count 1, 2, 3. So we are stopping here on 5. So you now consider the next value closer to 5, which is 8. Is it up to 5? Yes, it is up to 5. We have 8, so we turn it to 1. If it is up to 5, it will be turned to 1, and we add it to this value that we are working on. So it will now become what? 6. So our answer will now be what? 0.001666 to what? To 3 significant figures. Number 3, we are to do what? Approximate this 24.543 to what? To 2 decimal place. When you are doing decimal place, you start counting value after the decimal point. So decimal place is telling you to count after the decimal point. While significant figure is telling you to start counting from the very first significant number. I hope you understand. So now we are counting after the decimal point. We'll count 2 values after the decimal point. So you don't have any business with the value before the decimal if it is in decimal place. But if it is insignificant, you start counting from the very first significant number. So that's just the concept. So now 2 decimal place, we are counting from what? Values after the decimal point. So we are counting 2 values after the decimal point. So we count 5, 1, 2. So we are working here. And the next value is what? 3. 3 is not up to 5, right? So we are going to do what? We are going to round it down. Do you understand? We round it down. If B is 5, we'll have turned it to 1 and add it to this one. But because it's not up to 5, we are turning it to 0. We are rounding it down. So our answer, you two can write down your answer before I finally write it because I've explained. So you should get your answer. So now 24.543 to 2 decimal places, it will be what? It will now be what? 2 4 points, 2 decimal places, 1 2. So we have 5 4. Because this one is not up to 5. So we are turning it to 0. You can add 0 and you can leave the 0. 0 after the decimal point is not relevant. So that's your answer. And you will not leave your answer like this. You tell us to what value you have approximated it to. So we have 2.54 to what? To 2 decimal place. Good. So at number 4, we have this to 3 significant figure. To 3 significant figure, we are counting our value from the very first significant number. So 1, 2, 3. So this is where we are working on. The next value is not up to 5, so we are turning it to 0. So our answer is what? 0.002473. It will now be approximately to what? 0.00247 to what? To 3 significant figure. I hope you understand it like that. So this is our answer to 3 significant figure. So let's do number 5. So number 5, we have to approximate 51665 to what? To 2 significant figure. We start our counting from what? From the very first significant number. So we start counting from here. 1 2. So this is where we are working on. So you consider the next value. The next value to it is what? The next value to it is 6. So it is more than 5. We're turning it to 1 and we are adding it to this. So our answer becomes what? Let me write the question. 665, right? 51665. We now approximate it to be what? 5. This is the second value. So we now approximate it to 5 to 52. The rest become 0 0 0 to what? To 2 significant figure. So that is it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. If you have any question, feel free to ask. I will be in the comment section to answer them. I love you. Bye.